Yo guys, today we're gonna see whether Ben Simmons or who is it? Or Brandon Ingram is better. Now these guys are both rookies, and Ben Simmons did go #1, and Brandon Ingram went #2 in this year's draft. Now, when you look at Ben Simmons, overall he's better. He does not have a mid-range or a three-pointer. If you go over to Brandon Ingram, he has a decent inside game with a mid-range game and a three-point game. Plus, he can play some decent D, kind of. Not like great D, but he can just be there, basically. And for Ben Simmons, he has A+ potential. But when you look at Ben Simmons, his playmaking ability is definitely better than Brandon Ingram's. But Ben Simmons is no stud right off the bat. His potential is what has him rated so high, I believe. So today we are going to find out whether or not the Brandon Ingram was worth passing up, or should the 76ers have taken Brandon Ingram and let Ben Simmons end up going to the Lakers. Which one will be more successful this season? Alright, so we are here at the trade deadline right before All-Star Weekend, and judging by the Lakers record, it does not look like Brandon Ingram is doing too hot. The 76ers, on the other hand, their record is looking a whole lot better. They had a bunch of wins here and a bunch of wins here. It seems like the 76ers are having the better season. Now, let's look at the individual players. So looking at the rookie report here, Brandon Ingram is the second best rookie in scoring. He is averaging about 7 rebounds and 4 assists a game. Where Ben Simmons is down here, he is averaging about 13 points a game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and Brandon Ingram's averaging about 1 steal, same with Ben Simmons. And it looks like Brandon Ingram's averaging about maybe 2 blocks a game, where Simmons is averaging about 1. And Brandon Ingram has less turnovers. Okay. Brandon Ingram is also shooting 1% better from the field. He has a better three-pointer by about 21 hundredths. Free throw, Brandon Ingram leading Ben Simmons pretty big. Ben Simmons not doing that great from the line. Points or minutes per game. Ben Simmons is leading Brandon Ingram in minutes per game, but that's not really a stat that we watch after. Ben Simmons is averaging about 3 fouls a game, where Brandon Ingram will average 2 points. We have 642 points from Brandon Ingram, but he is also injured, so that's something to watch out for. Brandon Ingram has played less games, I believe, which will affect it. Ben Simmons does have more rebounds than Brandon Ingram, and he also has more assists. Because Brandon Ingram has not had the games where he could play. Steals, Ben Simmons does have more. 68 blocks to Ben Simmons 50, and Brandon Ingram did not play the whole season so far. He's had games missed. He's made 253 field goals, whereas Ben Simmons has made 298 with about 12 more games than Ingram. So, field goal attempts, Brandon Ingram's about almost 600, where Ben Simmons is almost at 700. Three-pointers made, Brandon Ingram's at 66 midway through the season, where Ben Simmons has only knocked down 13 from behind the arc. And 3 points attempted, Ben Simmons is also lacking in that category, where he only has 50 attempts, where Brandon Ingram has 176. Free throws made, 70 to Ben Simmons 99. Now, free throws attempted, Ben Simmons almost at the 150 mark, and Brandon Ingram has yet to reach 100. Minutes, Brandon Ingram has had 1,385 minutes in the NBA, where Ben Simmons is at 1,836. It seems to me that Ben Simmons is going to be the next big thing here in Philadelphia. Fouls. Brandon Ingram's averaging has 97 fouls, where Ben Simmons has 165. Now, Ben Simmons has started all 56 games this season. Brandon Ingram has started all 44 games that he's played in this season. So, what does that mean when we come to find it at the end of the year? Will Brandon Ingram? Will Buddy Hield? Will Ben Simmons? Will somebody else in here? Chris Dunn, maybe? Who will get the Rookie of the Year? Maybe Brandon Ingram and Ben Simmons might not have even been the best two players. Maybe it was Buddy Hield, or maybe it was Chris Dunn. Who knows who will get Rookie of the Year at the very end of the season? We'll find that out and more right about now. Alright, so we're here at the end of the season. Russell Westbrook wins the most valuable player. Ben Simmons with 8 rebounds, 12 points, about 6 assists, 1 steal, and a block ends up getting Rookie of the Year. So maybe the 76ers didn't make a bust. Maybe he's better than Ingram. We will find out this here in a moment, though. Let's look at the all-rookie team. Brandon Ingram's on the first team. He had about a season with 15 points a game, about 7 rebounds, about 4 assists, a steal a game, and almost 2 blocks a game. So, when we compare these two guys, Ben Simmons has less points per game, so he's less productive on the scoring asset. He averaged about a whole extra rebound than Ingram. He's also got another 2 assists. So I'm going to put that as a +3, where Brandon Ingram here has a +2. Steal per game. Brandon Ingram has about 2, where Ben Simmons rounds down to 1. So that's going to be a tie so far. So it's 3-3. Brandon Ingram has a 1.5 to the 9. So he has now he has a 1-point lead. Brandon Ingram shot 44% from the field and 36% from behind the arc. Now, Ben Simmons trails by 2 here, so I'm going to put him down by 1.5 points. He also trails there, so I'm going to put him down by 2 points. Now, free throws now, we are looking at a 68 free throw percentage for Ben Simmons. Is Brandon Ingram's better? He is at a 76. So let's go look at the turnovers and fouls per game for Ben Simmons. Now, he does have more turnovers, I believe. Fouls per game, yes. He did not get 1,000 points this season. He had 645 rebounds, 455 assists, 103 steals, 73 blocks. Interesting. So, Ben Simmons he started... Alright, so he has a 1.3 blocks per game, right? No, 0.9. Alright, so I'm going to say statistically, this season, Brandon Ingram is going to be a stud. Now, whether that means in the future, Ben Simmons could also get better. He has potential, like I said. His team, I believe, has done better than the Lakers. Not positive on if the Lakers got dubs or not. Can I find that out from here? No, I can't. Alright. But let's look at the Lakers. They went 31-51. Ben Simmons gave the 76ers a whole extra 12 games. And it looks like Philadelphia somehow got into the playoffs as a second seed. They will be taking on the Raptors. So Brandon Ingram will not lead his team to a playoff, but he will indeed be the better statistical player this season. And Ben Simmons almost loses in round 1. Now we face the Bulls, in which the Bulls will lose in 5. Cleveland sweeps the 76ers, and now it's a Blazers and Cleveland finale. And it looks like Cleveland is going to win it all. LeBron putting out 25 points, 9 rebounds, about 8 assists, 2 steals, about 2 blocks per game, my bad, and 3 turnovers. Shooting 58 and a 33% 3. So that's been it. Next time I will be with you, I'm going to have my first ever My GM out. And it's going to be, guess who? It's going to be with the 76ers. Yes, indeed. We are going to use the 76ers for my GM. Ben Simmons, Jahlil Okafor, Joel Embiid, Nerlens Noel, Dario Saric, Robert Covington, Jared Bayless, T.J. McConnell, Sergio Rodriguez, Jeremiah Grant, Gerald Henderson, and Hollis Thompson, and Rishon and Timothy Luawakabuku, or whatever his name is, and Nick Stauskas. I'm just kidding, I'm not doing that. Actually, the next video, if we want to be real, it's actually going to be Melo. What would have happened if Melo would have came to Chicago last year? Now, it's going to be in this year, so Melo's going to be on Chicago. He's going to play with Wade. He's going to play with Rondo, assuming that the Bulls somehow had enough salary cap to make all three of those, plus Jimmy Butler, work out. Now, I also have another video planned in which we will find what would have happened if last year's trade rumors of Boogie Cousins, where he would have went and what he would have done there. So, I'll see you next time when we are with the Bulls.